Alright, before I go into whether you should summon for the new characters or not, the new Kikoru and the new Chester, there's one very important thing you need to know about defense break. So right here, I have pulled up a screenshot of my Hoshina's damage on the current raid battle without any defense break on the boss. So he's doing 171 million on his ultimate skill. And in the next setup, I have 3 defense break on the boss. So I have one from Furuhashi, the 24%. I have one from Hibino Kafka, 16%. And the last one is from the old Kikoru from her ultimate. I think it gives about 10% right now. So right now the boss has a little below 50% defense, and after all those defense break, my 5-star Hoshina only did 6 million extra damage. Without the defense break, we did 171. We divide it by the new value, 177,127,401. We minus this by 1. We barely get an increase of 3%. So triple stacking defense break got me an increase of almost 3%. So defense break in this game is not that useful. Alright, let's get into the part of the video where you actually care about whether you should summon for Kikoru, Chester, or keep summoning on Hoshina. Now, I've already showed you that defense break is not that impactful in this game because you don't get an increase of that much in your attack. Even if the enemy has like a decent amount of defense, the increase is still not going to be a lot. It's not more than 5%. Which means this Kikoru's selling point is not going to be her defense break, while her kit does revolve around defense break and also defense in general because she also ignores defense. You're not going to care about the defense break all that much because it's not big of a boost. The only thing that you should care about in her kit is going to be the speed down. But I've already mentioned this a few times. Speed down is not that useful in bossing contents because you don't really care if the boss takes a turn or not. You can apply speed down on the boss to extend the duration where the boss is out of plating, but the total amount of turns that you get is still going to be the same because speed down doesn't affect the round count, right? In raid battle that we have right now, you only have a specific number of rounds before the run ends. I think it's about 5 rounds. So this speed down, while it does slow the boss down, it doesn't do anything for you to gain more turns and get better score. You can get a better score if you can extend the duration of which the boss goes into exposed mode. That could be useful, but the amount of turns that you get is still going to be the same. Outside of the speed down, Kikoru is also a very good plate breaking character because she can get her ultimate very fast, right? Her ultimate is an adjacent AoE damage, so whenever she ults or whenever she combat ability, that is going to break the plates on at least 3 of the enemies. Her passive skill is pretty good for the first part, not so much for the second part because again, defense break is not that good. But the 100% outgauge rate means that you can cast the combat skill once and cast the normal skill once, and then you get the ultimate just like that, which means she can cycle her ultimate every 2 turns. And when it comes to her damage, she doesn't do that much damage because once again, she cannot crit. Even if you have like 100% crit rate, she won't crit with her ultimate. You can crit with the combat ability and also the skill 1. The follow-up attack is also a pen damage, so you cannot crit on that one as well. So the crit damage is useless. Her base effect hit rate is also pretty terrible. At level 100, it only goes up to 27%. So you have to run her with her weapon, with her signature weapon that gives you additional 20% effect hit rate. So it goes up to 47%. So for the uni part, you want to run her on the effect hit rate or the new uni part. You either run her with this one, blunt damage dealt plus 26%, attack plus 37, and then after the equipped unit activates ultimate, you gain more damage dealt, can stack up to 3 times. This one is most likely going to be the best set for her. But if you don't have this set or a good enough set for this one, you can also run this one, effect hit rate plus 22%, because her damage also scales off with her effect hit rate, right? But on longer fights, this one is definitely going to be better. You can also... No, I think that's the only 2 set that you can run on her. Yeah, this crit rate set is going to be useless for her, and the fungal set is also going to be useless because you cannot benefit from the crit damage on her ultimate and the follow-up attack. In my opinion, the new Kikoru is not worth it to summon because her damage is subpar. She is a single typing character. She is a defense shredder, but defense in this game doesn't matter that much. The speed down is also pretty decent, but in raid battle, it doesn't mean that much, to be honest with you. She just doesn't have a lot in her kit, and her stats are also, like I said, it's pretty terrible, right? 600 attack is really low. So if you build her unipart, you might actually want to run a flat attack on the first unipart rather than percentage. Alright, let's go over Chester. This guy I think is going to be the best among the three to summon for, even over Hoshina. The reason for that is because he could shape a new meta where you just run 1 support and 3 DPS, because his support is good enough to warrant you running him as the sole support, right? He gives attack up, he gives damage dealt and crit rate up, which is going to be useful for almost anyone, and he also gives you more turns. I think speed buff is probably better, so Rio might be better, or you can also run both supports in the same team so that you can cycle your team like crazy. Now, his passive skill is, in my opinion, his biggest selling point. So let's take a look. After activating a combat skill or ultimate, applies field ops 1 turn to all other allies. After attacking, deals shot damage. Shot additional damage equals to 33% of the attacker's attack to the target. So if you apply this to your Hoshina is going to do basically 33% more damage. Now, I'm not too sure if this ability can crit or not. We can test it out right now. But if it can crit, then this skill basically means it's a straight up 33% damage increase to all of your allies for 1 turn. The turn count is a bit low, 1 turn, but you can apply it when you use the combat skill or the ultimate, right? And he gets his ultimate very fast because he can get 108 out gauge from the combat skill. Okay, let me check whether his passive skill can crit or not. Running this game on PC is so smooth, by the way. Okay, we're gonna cast the combat skill. Now all of my allies have the buff. I'm gonna use my single target so I can see the secondary effect. It can crit. You saw just now, right? But it was blocked off. It can crit. So it's basically just a straight up 33% increase to all of your allies for 1 turn. So the final verdict, in my opinion, Chester is going to be the one that you should summon for. Kikoru is not worth it. Between Chester and Hoshina, I would suggest you guys to summon for Chester because I think he has better longevity as well. Being a support means that he's going to be harder to power creep. Usually in gacha games, it's like that. And when it comes to Hoshina, he's a single target, he's a single typing DPS character. He is currently the best DPS and nuker in the game, but that can be power crept pretty early on, especially when, you know, I don't know, we get a new gen, or maybe we get Berserk Kaiju No.8 or something. I think Berserk Kaiju No.8 is going to topple this guy's damage by a long shot. So in my opinion, it's best to go for Chester over the 3. And also not just because Chester has better longevity, but also the banner is better as well, right? If you summon for Hoshina, you can get the banner is the same across all 3 of the banners right here. You can get Reno from each of them, but this banner gives you 1 extra pull. It will give you 1 free multi every 3 multis that you do. You get more bang for your buck. If you manage to pick up Chester, then you can go ahead and summon for Hoshina and then Kikoru. But in my opinion, Kikoru is not worth it to summon. These 2, however, are very worth it to summon. He is the best DPS in the game. This guy is not the best single target support, but he is going to be the best AoE support in the game, right? And the meta for team building might change around this guy, where you can just run 1 support, being him, and 3 other DPS. Or you can run 2 support, being him and Rio, and then you can run 2 DPS, being Hoshina and, I don't know, maybe Kaiju No.8 or someone else. So yeah, that's about it. Next video, I'm gonna be summoning on my main account and maybe even my second account. I want to see which one I can pull. Maybe I can pull this guy on my main or on my second account, but I'm only gonna go for one of them. I'm probably gonna skip on Kikoru on both of my accounts. And yeah, that's about it. Ciao.